Welcome everyone watching around the world. I'm Carl Azus for CNN10. The date of this show is May 2nd, 2019, which means we're almost exactly a year and a half from the next U.S. presidential election. And 21 people have already declared their candidacy for president, in addition to the incumbent leader himself. President Donald Trump filed his re-election paperwork just hours after he was inaugurated on January 20th, 2017. One candidate, a former governor of Massachusetts, has said he'll challenge President Trump for the Republican nomination. And as far as Democrats go, there are 20, a record number of them, who've officially announced their candidacy. They include a former U.S. vice president, a number of senators and representatives, some mayors, an author, a former cabinet official. But why are these campaigns seemingly in full swing when we're still more than 8 months away from even the first primaries and caucuses that help determine the party nominees? Money is one reason. Fundraising is a critical part of any presidential run, and announcing early helps candidates start getting the donations that'll help fuel that run. Another reason, getting their name out there. Candidates need voters to be familiar with them, so this is a chance for presidential hopefuls to make connections well ahead of the elections. Also, debate season is just around the corner. It kicks off at the beginning of summer and runs through next spring. So the candidates are working to qualify so they can get their faces and their messages on the national stage. 10-second trivia. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States? John Roberts, Mike Pompeo, William Barr, or Neil Gorsuch? The Chief Justice, who's also the Chief Judge of the U.S. Supreme Court, is John Roberts. That's a question from the civics part of the U.S. naturalization test, the test that someone born outside the United States takes to become a citizen. The exam has a total of 100 questions, but only 10 of those are asked to people applying for U.S. citizenship, and they have to get at least 6 of the answers right. A new law was just passed in the state of Indiana that requires all high school students there to take the naturalization test as part of their civic studies. They don't have to pass the test to graduate, they just have to take it. Those who support the law say they're concerned that many American high school students wouldn't be able to pass the test, so they're hoping that requiring them to take it will help solve that. Those who oppose the law say it's not necessary since students are already learning this information through their civics, history, and social studies classes. The law is set to take effect next school year. Several other states have a similar requirement in place. Today, we decided to test your knowledge with a few more questions from the naturalization test. First, who is known as the father of our country? George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, or Thomas Jefferson? The answer, America's first president, George Washington. Next, what are the first words of the Constitution? We hold these truths, 7 years ago, Congress shall make no law, or we the people? The answer, we the people. Finally, how many U.S. senators are there? 50, 100, 435, or 438? The answer, 100. 2 senators for every state.
Hey! Varsågod. Ja. Så tenker jeg kanskje samtidig å prøve å skjære det. Frem til de.
40 years after the launch of 1G, meaning first-generation wireless technology, we're standing on the threshold of 5G. It's going to come at a cost. Hundreds of billions of dollars are needed to develop 5G. There are currently around 200,000 cell towers across America dedicated to 4G. Experts estimate it'll take at least 300,000 more to manage the 5th generation. There are security concerns, and there's also the question, what do we do when our computers and smartphones just don't work properly? But if everything does,
5G isn't just going to change your mobile internet speed, it's going to touch nearly everything around you. Right, Sophia?
It will allow everything to be connected. I am getting excited just thinking about it.
Let's take some everyday scenarios. You leave work, get in your car, go home, eat dinner, take that shower, and go to bed. Well, 5G is going to change all of that. Let's start with the drive. Tell me how 5G is going to change that commute home and this bad boy.
This car is permanently surveying the road around. It's sending relevant bits of information up to the cloud, generating a true real-time map that in turn is pushed down to all the other cars. Autonomous driving is not the capability of a car, it's really about swarm intelligence, and that's why 5G is so crucial.
The real magic of 5G is in the amount of data that can be transmitted through the increased capacity, the increased bandwidth. That really enables a whole range of applications that currently aren't possible.
Why in the world would you need to have a data-connected beehive, David?
Beehives, as you know, are valuable, and as such, they're in demand. And so hive keepers need to protect them. So they use asset trackers to essentially monitor the health of the hive. Checking into the cloud once a day, which is the industry metric for an asset tracker, this device will last 14 years.
So really the lesson here is 5G isn't just about speed, it is also about power. On one end of the spectrum, using a ton of power. On the other end of the spectrum, using as little power as possible to get the longest lifespan possible.
5G is going to have a massive impact on people's lives. It'll happen over time as the technology is deployed and as use cases are developed, but we're going to see a really big advance in the quality of life that 5G can deliver for individuals.
But all that isn't enough for some people. With 5G rolling out, others are already focused on 6G. 6G? Really?
Well, yes. You could have smart surfaces with printed electronics in them, smart glasses, so you can have your device everywhere.
When do you think that 6G will actually roll out?
Standardization activities are expected to start in 2028, so a couple of years after that, 2030.
2030?
Yes.
So 2019 is the year of 5G, 2030, 6G. See you then.
For 10 out of 10, Graham and Steve. Those are the names of two of the newest traffic reporters in the City of London. Yeah, this job's for the birds. According to Transport for London, these seagulls decided to perch in front of the traffic camera at, quote, peak times, giving an extra bird's eye view of conditions. This happened over the course of a couple days, and of course, it went viral thanks to the internets. Should have named them Jonathan and Livingston. It takes a lot of gold to wing a photobomb like that, but there are worse ways to spend a lurid day, even for the most gullible, and who wouldn't want to turn fishing for the chance to catch fame on camera? It's no red herring, and the outcome was simply unbelievable. I'm Carl Azuz for CNN10.